Hello and welcome to OneSeed Drive. In this video, we're going to see how to effectively manage production processes on OneSeed Drive. First, we'll learn about a business that trusts OneSeed Drive with its production management system. Then, step by step, we'll go through all the processes, starting from the setting up of company parameters to planning production and analyzing results. We'll also discuss the reasons why multiple businesses all over the world trust the OneSeed Drive ERP solution. Let's have a look at the business case. Best Textile is a company that produces textile goods and sells them in the local market. The company employs 50 people involved in just a single production unit. Best Textile follows a make-to-order production strategy, meaning that they produce goods only after they have received an order from a customer. What were the crucial challenges of Best Textile before implementing OneSeed Drive? The primary and the most scariest challenge was that they didn't understand their ROI and whether they could make it to the deadlines on time or not. Then, all production planning happened in the head of a single experienced employee. The setup brought huge risks to the whole company. Another major challenge was related to shortages of raw materials when they were really needed, leading to further delays in order fulfillment. Ineffective usage of equipment was another of the company's main challenges. And last but not least, there was a lack of understanding of the real financial situation, both on the costs and revenue sides. OneSeed Drive is the solution. As an ERP for growing production companies, it empowers small and medium-sized companies with a fully functional management of production lifecycle system, from order creation to cost analysis for each product and each order. Best Textile uses OneSeed Drive to design and manage the full life cycle of their make-to-order production processes. OneSeed Drive allows efficient management of materials, equipment, and employee work time and capacity. Using the production planning and control modules, ensure real-time management of orders. And with the flexible reporting system, the company can build various reports and easily analyze costs and overheads. Now let's see step by step how Best Textile automates its business in OneSeed Drive. We'll go through these 16 steps in the most detail. First, we'll make sure that all the settings are in place. We go to Purchases Warehouse and select Register Supplier Prices and also Inventory Counting by Variance. We'll need these options later. Best Textile is a production company, so we need to go to Production Settings to enable Production Subsystem. Here we can see that the Production Subsystem has been already enabled. And we'll also need Work in Progress Documents, Workload Planning, and Production Planning. In our case, we'll set the planning horizon to 50 days. Production companies have different types of inventory. All the inventory is registered in the products catalog, including materials, semi-finished products, and goods for sale. Various types of inventory can be grouped together in folders for better navigation. The products catalog offers different attributes for different types of inventory. For example, for finished products, we can see general settings. Also, we can upload an image and see some analytical data about net sales and prices. And we can also fill in replenishment settings. For purchased components, we can keep track of variants of components which are stored in a separate catalog, product variants. Here's how they look. Reorder point settings help us to manage the demand in components for each variant of the product. Prices for components and produced goods are critical to Best Textile's business. To manage prices, we use different price types. We then can assign these prices to customers. In contracts, billing details, we select sales price type. It is then automatically applied to all sales to this particular customer. To set the price, we can go to Products Catalog, select the product, and then use the Pricing Setup option. Or we can use the Prices Setup tool. For example, let's set up a special offer price list. We'll fill in the items from Retail 2020 price list. You can see the current price. And then we want to reduce the current price by 15%. The system instantly recalculates. And here's the new price. We need to press Set to save the changes. No matter how we set the price, the results are stored in the pricing document. Here you see the prices that we've just set up. Every price change can be easily traced. We can analyze the prices using the Price List tool. To manage purchase prices, we create several supplier price types. We assign those prices and those price types to suppliers in the Contracts tab, and then Billing Details. And after that, these price types will be automatically applied to all supplier documents. This is the selected price. And we also use Register Supplier Prices option to keep track of product prices. In the Products Catalog, we can view the prices through the Counterparty Prices option. And we can analyze those prices with purchases and supplier price lists. Apart from components and finished products, Best Textile has a variety of production resources. We work with them in the Work Center workplace. Here you can see the Work Center types and their settings, as well as individual work centers. Also, in the Work Center workplace, you can see the Work Center availability, which we can fill from the work schedule, or we can adjust it manually if needed. We need to save changes. To see the overall availability, we can use the Work Center availability report, where we'll see not only the available resources, but also how much of those available resources we actually used. Bill of Materials allows us to keep information about the production process in one place. Here you can see the status and validity period of the bill of material itself. This helps us to monitor the life cycle of bill of materials. There's also the finished product quantity and routing and components details for the finished product. In the routing details, you can see which operations are required or in the sequence of these operations. On the Components tab, we see the list of materials, which operations they are required in, and whether or not we need to produce those materials before we can consume them during the operation. The Bill of Materials Explosion report enables us to see the complete list of components required to make the product, including all levels. Best Textile produces goods only when they have sales orders. That's why sales order management is very important for them. Sales orders go through this sales order list. You see the status information about dispatching, payment, whether or not the order is still active, and overall status of the order. In the order, we've got information about the level of activity of the customer. The customer is selected from the customer's catalog. Here you see the general information about the customer, while the payment details are stored in contracts. When the products are selected, we can make the profit estimation to make sure that we are within the threshold of profitability. Here we see that the cost of goods is calculated according to one of several calculation methods. And we can see the cost for the entire order or for every item inside the order. Here we see the profit of €35, and we can estimate whether or not we can offer our client a discount. So you see, we enter a discount and see how the price is recalculated. Then we need to save and close. All the data is migrated to the sales order. Here we can check payment terms and delivery terms. When the order is delivered, we can see in the profit estimation not only the planned data, but the actual data as well. Now that we've got all the information in place, it is easy for us to create and plan production orders. Let's go to sales orders. And see how to do it based on the new order from a new customer. We'll put the sales order status to in progress and post and close it. Now we go to generate production order, and you can see that the production order is completely pre-filled. We change its status to in progress, change the start date, and select the production department. Post and close it to save the changes. Production orders are managed from the production planning and control workplace. Here's the production order we've just created. To plan production, first we need to go to Actions, Generate Work in Progress Document, and Generate Documents. Close. And now we're ready to schedule the production order. We go to Operations tab and press Generate. The production order was scheduled. Then we save the changes. Just click Saved, and now we can see the Gantt chart. Here it is. We can also view the overall production schedule through the Production Schedule menu. Here it is. Now that we've planned production, we need to analyze the demand and components. We go to Purchases, Demand Planning, and calculate the demand. Here we can see the settings to show shortages only, and let us see the details. You can see that work in progress documents were analyzed, as well as the purchased order and reorder points. We go to Recommendations tab and calculate recommendations. And you can see that once the drive analyzed all the suppliers that we've got for this product and variants, as well as prices. We make the selection, go to the Orders tab, and now we can select these settings to group the products by supplier and generate orders. We see that the order for 2 products was generated for the supplier that we've chosen. We post and close it. Now, to monitor the purchase orders, we can use the purchase orders list, where we see the status for the goods received. So purchase orders. Yeah, so here you can see the status. Or we can monitor from supply invoices, expected purchase orders. You see here the list of orders that we expect. And from here we can exactly and directly create the supplier invoice once we receive the goods. To monitor the components in the warehouse, we use the available stock report or stock summary. This is the available stock report. Or here's the stock summary report. Now that we've planned the production and the purchase of components, with the help of work in progress management, we complete the operations, and when done, we register the production document for both semi-finished and finished products. The production document registers both the physical inventory and the production costs. To monitor the production cost, we can use work in progress report and cost of goods produced report. When goods are produced, we can handle them in 2 ways. We can transfer them to the warehouse directly by the production document, or the other way is to generate a separate inventory transfer depending on our processes. Now that we've got finished products in the warehouse, we're ready to dispatch the sales order. We use Goods Dispatching tool from the sales menu. It analyzes sales orders, delivery dates, stock, and the warehouse, and recommends sales order and quantity to dispatch. We use settings to define what type of document we want to create, and press Generate. On the Generated Documents tab, we see the sales invoice. We can review its content. And then, if everything is okay, we press Post and Close. We can view the generated invoice in Sales Invoices, and when we receive payment from our client, all we need to do is to use Generate Bank Receipt option. Here it is. You see that all the details, including any unpaid balances, are pre-filled. So the only thing we need is to post document, and thus the payment will be registered. Together with Best Textile, we've gone through the entire process of production and sales, so now let's have a look at financial results. Income and expenses by sales orders shows profitability of orders. So we can analyze these numbers here. Then net sales report shows the margin as well. And we can generate a profit and loss statement to see the results. Here you go. But this is not the end, because our accounting department registers supplier invoices at the end of the month for manufacturing overheads as well as office supplies and some payroll costs. And if we have a look at the trial balance, we see that some general ledger accounts are not closed. So we need to go through the month-end closing procedure. For this, open month-end closing, select all the options, and perform month-end closing. Once the procedure is finished, we can view the report. And when we look at the trial balance, we see that accounts were closed. And we can now generate updated reports. Income and expenses by sales orders. Choose the whole month of October and we see a reduction in profits. We can also see net sales and profit and loss statement as well. I'm gonna see it in a minute. Here you go. We've shown you some of the reports, but there are many more in the analysis module. We've organized our favorite reports into the favorites panel. Let's have a look at that. And here you can find multiple reports. Overview dashboard, cash assets dashboard, accounts receivable, accounts payable, sales trends by periods, income and expenses trend, and the overall report, which is Business Pulse. So that's it. When Best Textile expands their business and introduces new processes, OneSeaDrive has many tools to assist them in their growth and development. But why are growing companies like Best Textile choosing OneSeaDrive? First of all, because of the fully functional management of the production life cycle we've just seen. OneSeaDrive provides it all in an all-in-one solution. At the same time, OneSeaDrive is very flexible and can support various types of production, from make-to-order to custom and even mass production processes. Customers can easily adapt the ERP system to their unique processes, or if their processes change. Based on the powerful Once Enterprise development platform, OneSeaDrive provides globally proven ERP technologies for small and medium-sized companies. OneSea ERP solutions are used by millions of users worldwide. You can hear and read more customer stories at our website. Interested? We'll be glad to provide you with a one-to-one demo. Just drop us a note at www.onecei.com.